Yeah, the Dumber Zone, I think.
That
Dumber Zone.
they were nice guys.
Mhm.
Very cool.
A little more dead behind the eyes. I don't like it, Bug.
Here's the deal.
Been trying to get a hold of you. Been trying to get a hold of you.
Here's the
We're
deal.
doing this. We're doing this a lot later than we anticipated. But you know what? We're 45 years old. We got a lot of shit going on.
A lot of shit going on, and it's dry out Wednesday or Monday.
Oh
I don't
shit!
even know what day it is.
I ain't even grab anything. I was trying
gotta-
to messing around with the microphone and shit.
I gotta dry out on Mondays. You know, all that partying.
All the partying from the weekend.
Yeah, dude, I gotta get right. You know what I mean? The detox starts today.
All them beers you have while mowing the lawn.
Why do yard beer hits different, dude?
I
I don't
don't.
care if it's
I mean, I think. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's different. Maybe it's different for you, but I think. Well, I don't take this as a as a thing, but you don't get a lot of opportunities to do like sweaty work like you do yard work. Because for
true.
me, shit, at the end of every day, if a beer fall, a beer hits real nice. After being out in 100-degree weather for 10 hours, that beer, it be hitting real nice. I
It's
think it's
real
just the
good.
hot, the sweat, you're like, the, what do you call it? The exertion.
The salt
I
leaving
think,
the body.
yeah, I think that's what, I don't know, but yeah, it hits, especially like I said, when you're out mowing the lawn and you stop for a little before you switch from the front to the back.
Yeah. Slow down. Go ahead. Say it
No
slower.
ATM, no ATM.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's fair. That's fair. No, it's true, man. After a good yard Saturday, country Saturday, nice little beer on the porch.
Yeah, because I did yard work. When was it? We did yard work Saturday also. I think Saturday, and then I had my machine and both of my weed eaters crap bad, so I had to take them over to a dude that I found on Facebook Marketplace to give him a little tune up. You know, I don't know. I know some stuff, but I don't know everything. I don't know nothing about that kind of stuff. All I know is like, hey, this bitch won't start. It's choking up. Got to take it to get it fixed so we can do our own yard work type
Make it
things.
do what it. Gotta make it do what it do. I do have
Make
a.
it do what it do.
I make it do what it do. I have a bit about that. Maybe it's me turning into run the ball guy, or fight old ladies at Walmart like you do. Why? There's very few things that piss me off to the core. But if I get set up and I know how much time I'm going to spend on the yard on a Saturday, I got it timed out. You know, we do the yard all the time, right? So in the
Yeah,
summer, you know, you time out exactly how much time you're going to allocate for the yard.
yeah.
So then you get started, and then yeah, if you switch over to the weed eater, I've got a little spool one, like
Uh-huh.
you know, you buy a
Not
three
the
pack
easy,
of them.
not the easy load. You just put in, you just swap out the spool.
It's the easy load. So
Oh,
I
okay,
got
so you don't
the
swap them out. You gotta buy cartridges.
cartridges. You got to buy
Yeah,
more. Got to put more in the clip.
yeah,
There's nothing that grinds my gears more is if I go to cut the yard and I forget that don't have enough gas in the tank,
yeah.
and I
Because
got to go to
the
go to
from the
fucking
last time you
Chevron.
mow it, you know it from the last time you did it. But then, like, I'll
You
do it
know.
sometime during the week when I'm running around. I'll grab the tank, or hey, that spool's almost out, so I'll just grab one during the week. But you never do. And
That bill
then come,
when
yeah, come we're like shit. Ain't got no gas, ain't got no spools,
Right.
ain't got,
Dang.
yeah,
It's so
ain't got no
frustrating because I'm
string.
already, and I know it's going to take more time, and there's nothing that pisses me off and
Yeah,
grinds
it
my
takes
gears
longer to
more.
go do the trip and
Yeah,
come back than it does to just do the work.
yeah, yeah, because then Saturday morning, you got all the ladies trying to buy petunias in the garden department. You think you're sneaky going to the garden department counter, right?
Nah,
Get your,
they park.
no,
You park on the other end, not even go through the main doors. But no,
no,
that shit's packed,
no, it's
packed with old
packed.
ladies paying with checks
Yeah.
and asking for advice on what bulbs need to go in now and what fertilizer should I put in these and like man, you don't ask that at the register.
No, but they
You don't
do.
ask, you don't ask the 15-year-old at the register
They got,
all that shit.
yeah, they got time for that today. God, it grinds my gears, man. But I don't like it. I don't like it. I just want to go on record saying that. You know what I mean?
No,
So,
I got a string mine, but it's the easy string. Like I just have to cut it to size, and then
yeah,
spool it from one end, and it goes through all the way, and then I just wind it. I just
nice,
wind it in there real fast. But
nice.
mine, I have a one that you can switch out the accessories, so I can put the string on there for the weed eater, and then I can swap it for the edger. Cause I don't know how to do. Yeah, I know I look like I might do yard work like that. You know, I look that kind like that kind of Mexican, but I can't do the edging with the weed eater, like the flip with the
Yeah,
weed eater edge. I just end up beating all the grass up. So mine has an attachment that I could put on that has like the steel blade on it that I can just go down the edge and edge it.
yeah, yeah. Nice and
But I
edge.
get tired of switching back and forth because you'll forget a spot. Like, damn, I switched to the edger too quick. I still need the weed eater. So like a couple of
Problem.
weeks, a couple of weeks ago, I got another weed eater just like mine, but a little bit older, at a garage sale for like $10, and I took it to that dude to fix it and tune it up. It worked, but it was still kind of, but he tuned it up. So now I got one with a string on it, and then I got one with the edger on it, so I don't have to fuck with it no more.
Yeah, well, Q Vivaldi, bro. I'm over
Is
here
yours
running out of gas.
gas or electric?
No, I'm a simp. I go straight plug and play.
You
So I
have to
charge
plug.
on my.
Nah, that's how
I
it
no,
was
I
when we
don't.
first. Now, when we first moved here, all my stuff was electric, like the edger and the
Yeah,
all that shit. But I switched because
yeah, no.
now
Well,
it's a hassle.
mine is just battery. I've got the
Okay, the
ecosystem, right? So
rechargeable battery.
it's just plug it in. I mean, you put the
You
battery
part of
pack
the
in.
you part of the Green Army.
You know what's
You look like
funny?
Green Army
You
guy.
know, you look like Green Army guy to me. No, I think I have like, and my weed eater it works fine because we have a small yard.
Yeah,
You know,
isn't that a Ryobi?
no, I think it's a Craftsman for that,
Okay,
and then I got like a gas blower, and then a gas machine, and then so
oh, okay.
the
See,
trimmer's on another.
you
It's
got
a
me there because I don't have a gas blower, and that's what I want.
man, a gas blower go hard, dude. It
Yeah,
just cause see, I also have okay, so I have the battery attachment for a Craftsman weed eater and a small blower, but it sucks. The battery power blower. So I
yeah.
just it's that, and then I switched to Works. I think that's the brand Works. So I got to for Works because that's the tree trimmer, the bush trimmer, Adrian.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Bush,
like the little chainsaw type thing.
yeah, that bit. And so, but uh, but it's a beating. It's all a beating. You can be on the same ecosystem. You're still gonna run out of twine, or you're gonna run out of
Yeah.
something. You have to go down to the freaking Chevron and see our people getting ready to go paint houses, drinking two tall boys of freaking Natty Light.
And then you ran over an ant pile, and then you got to go get some fucking ant poison and shit.
Poison ivy, that's a thing.
That's
So
one thing I've
yes,
never gotten is poison ivy.
you don't want that. You don't want that
Yeah.
business. That's a killer. Man, I was gonna tell you. Well, no, I did talk to you off air, friend. Obviously, it's gonna be a big summer event, double feature with covering the ticket stuff and covering the DZGSE Q plus. But man, pretty good little social media coverage you put out of the
And
event.
it's not done yet. Like I said, I'm still
Yeah, yeah,
editing some of the stuff, but yeah, I already uploaded the Sarah Hepla interview since it's a little bit longer than
nice,
the other videos. So I'm gonna put that one on its own thing and see if we
nice,
can. I'm gonna go ahead and like put it on the socials and on the uh Dumb Zone Reddit and on the Dumb Zone fan page on on Facebook.
nice.
See if we can
Well,
get a little traction on there, a little visit
well,
to the channel.
we've been getting some visits, which is good. Thanks, Grandma.
Yeah,
I got
we
I
got a lot
got
of cousins. We got a lot of
we got a lot
cousins.
of cousins. I got hit up by a couple people, unexpected people, very
Yeah,
cool people that are kind of in our lives, and so there's a couple friends that hit me up, and they're like, "Yo, we saw the stuff, the baby features that you did,"
yeah.
and then we drop content, sneak peek stuff from the Dumb Zone generic event. But it got me to thinking, much like the boys do on the ticket in the Dumb Zone, we need a reset, sir. A quick reset. Why are we doing this? And for
What are we
why?
doing? What the whole pod?
Yeah. Why are we doing the podcast? Why is it called the Dumber Zone? And what
I
it
mean,
is exactly that you do for a living around here. What it is exactly that you what do you like your job?
we kind of came up with it because we've been wanting to do a podcast for a while anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is stuff that we already talk about anyway. We're huge fans of the ticket, have been huge fans of the tickets forever. Huge fans of Bob and Dan when they were Bob and Dan, and then, Dan and Jake and their whole thing when they like we're just huge fans of that type of humor, I guess. Those are have always been, I think, say me and you, our heroes has been Gordon and Dan and Jake and that type of humor. Like I said, we already talk about all this stuff anyway. We chat about it, and we're like, "This is a good bit to do the podcast with, to do it about something that we already talk about, and we're fans of it." And there's a built-in audience of people that feel just like we do. So here we are, giving it a spin and trying it out. And we were very lucky that like I said, that we kind of got in at the very beginning, at the very start. I think that has helped a little bit, especially with the summer event. That thing was, I think it surpassed both of our expectations as far as what we thought we'd be able to do. Like we're huge fans. I've never met Dan or Jake. We've seen them before, but I had never met them, or I think we've said hi, maybe handshakes here and there. Never
Yeah.
Jake, because last time I went to like a ticket stock or anything like that, I don't think Jake was a host then or anything. But
Yeah.
I think I've seen Dan, said hi, but nothing. So this whole summer event kind of gave us a chance to like I said, we had hopes. We had high hopes that maybe we could get one of them, that maybe we could just ask a question, maybe we could just get a
Maybe
video with them or anything. But
maybe even just intern Henry or
yeah,
Clayton.
just
No
I mean, we were
disrespect.
saying like it doesn't matter who. Like we had our not no offense, but we had our goal set very low. We were looking for a drop Beth and what's his name, that you wanted to meet, Pollito. Like we yeah we had our goal set very low, our expectations low, so that we could, but as y'all can see, maybe I don't know yet where I'm putting them, in the middle or at the end. I don't know, but the interviews, we got to interview everybody, basically all the main players, and um, no, it was a hella fun night, hella fun night. More, like I said, more, and we even missed some people.
We did.
Like I've been here. I didn't even know. I mean, we were there from start till past the
Finish.
finish,
Good to
and
know.
I didn't see Aubrey. I didn't see.
No, Brandon
Yeah, like
Aubrey,
Brandon Aubrey was there.
Ted
Tobiello,
Emmerich,
I believe, was there. Like there was a bunch of, like,
Tobiello.
I don't know where where they
I
were.
didn't see. I didn't see any of them. Yeah, Brandon
No.
Aubrey. We whiffed on that,
Yeah.
which you
So
think
I
would
don't know
be
if
hard to.
maybe they just came in and hung out a little bit in the little, bar type area, and they didn't come out to, I don't know, because like I said, we were there before it started until past when it was done, when when the guys were picking up cables, and we were still there doing the interviews with what's his name, with the comedian, and with
Jimmy Nelson.
yeah, with Jimmy Nelson. Yeah, we were still doing interviews while they were picking up cables. So I
Yeah,
don't know how we missed them, but there was some people I heard mentioned that were there that we didn't see.
yeah. I was real bummed that we didn't get to see Ted Emmerich, which his
Yeah.
voice doesn't match his face, right? I haven't seen him enough. Yeah,
Oh
no
yeah.
yellow. But no, it was fun, man. It was a fun. That's a good reset too. Yeah, like I said, I got some good questions about that. They were like, "Hey, we kind of know what you're doing, but it's funny. It's interesting just for me to realize that we have such a. And you've mentioned this before. And by the way, if we're tailgating a Cowboy game, or if we're somewhere at a casino or Shreveport or Vegas, like we're talking about the exact same things, the same bits and jokes that the ticket used to do 20 years ago, the new jokes and new bits that are regurgitated from the ticket that
Yeah.
now form a part of the DZ, the Dumb Zone lore. And it's this new meta form of like a combination of old bits and drops that are now, forged into something different or new. And then we come in, just kick the door down and having our own little fun. Blake and Dan and Jake were so gracious That event was awesome, but I think the coolest thing for us was how blown away we were by the welcome that we received. As soon
Oh
as
yeah.
anybody from the crew, from whether it was Mike Soroy, shout out Mike Soroy, that was awesome to see him. But Dan, Jake, Blake, the top
Hmm.
three, they literally we got to spend time with them. We got to interview them. We'll show some content. But the
Yeah, and
biggest, coolest,
they're like little mini quick hits type thing because we didn't want to beat them down,
no,
but it seemed like we could have gone longer with them if
yes,
we wanted to. But like I
yes,
said, we went in also with the goal that if we get to do any of them, like let's just not beat them down with
yeah,
too much, but also at the same time explain who we are and what we're trying to do,
yes.
and let's see what kind of reaction. And it was an
That
awesome reaction from all of them.
I was blown away. That's what I was going to say. I was blown away by the reaction and how cool and welcoming they were. Not that I should have been surprised, that we should have been surprised, but literally
No,
to a man, Blake, Dan, and Jake specifically, they were like, "Oh, that's awesome," and they said, "Yeah, hit us up. Let's get you on a business Wednesday. Let's get." And me and Adrian over here, we're just like, just starstruck. Like, thank you. We're just trying to skulk away back into our bucket of beer.
like I knew they weren't gonna be like a-holes about it, but I expected honestly more of a like a little kind of pat on the head type thing, and like, oh, just like that's cool, like whatever. I mean, I don't give a shit in a nice way type
Yeah,
thing. You know what I mean? But it
yeah,
was not at all like that. Like it was like I said,
yeah,
I listened to the interviews after because I couldn't hear a lot of it when I was there because you had the
yeah.
mic, and
That's right.
so you were a little bit further away from me, and so I couldn't hear everything. But then when I heard them, I was like, "Holy shit! They actually said that!" Like, because
Crazy.
I could hear little snippets when they were talking to you, but I was a little further away, so I couldn't hear all of it.
Yes.
But no, it was crazy. It was crazy, amazing,
It
honestly.
was it was insane the reception, the seriousness in which they said it, especially Blake
Yeah,
because he's always serious.
yeah,
But yeah, hey, send us an email, tag us in your stuff, and they shared. That
yeah,
was cool.
yeah,
They shared the Dumber Zone, our
yeah.
account on Instagram that you post on. It was cool, man. Everything about it was like super chill and cool. I see you got your poster framed up. That's awesome.
Yeah. I have yours too that you left in the car, and it's framed up right there.
What? Let's talk about. Okay, well, I'm glad you brought that up. Let's talk about this. You might,
talk about
so
talk about the end of the night.
you can well the end of the night, yes, but you can progressively
See,
through
here's
the.
yours.
Oh my god!
So it's
Wah, wah,
framed up. Mine's back
wah.
here.
It's gonna
But
go right
yeah,
here.
you left it in the car. I'm like, fuck it. I ordered some frames and I framed them
Dude,
up so that they don't
what a
get messed
what a
up.
legend! What a hero, man. Well, what's funny about what's funny about it is we did wrap up early, which was a yay.
Yeah.
But the boo is when I go back and saw some of the interviews, especially as it got progressively later. Poor, poor Caitlin. I was beating her down with the same story about how I loved the song, and she had to hear it. I was in a loop. I got stuck in a loop because, because, because of Lone Star Beer.
Hey,
Because of Lone
we
Star
had
Beer.
we had many a Lone Star buckets.
We contributed to they kept saying it on the Dumb Zone after they covered the generic summer event, the week after or whatever, I guess
Yeah.
last week. But they kept saying how even though Jake doubled down on the owners,
Yeah.
with
Let them know you're
our
gonna sell out.
RIP Shores at Austin Creek,
Yeah.
you didn't clear Christmas, so they had their big event there and they shut down forever.
One and
But
done.
yeah, they Jake asked him to double up on the beer count, and I forget it was a guy's named Jerry. I don't know what his name is, the owner.
Something like
He
that.
had to
Yeah.
he had to run out and get just literal cases of Lone Star
Go
from the
across to
Quickie
the
Mart down the
7-Eleven.
street. Yes, literally. He had to do that, and it still wasn't enough. But shout out, man! It was a great time. Like I said, completely unexpected. Um, I don't know which interview, which moment was like the best for us. I think I'll say this right now. Dan, not Dan, Jake gives the best hugs. Someone else mentioned that, and it's true. When he hugged us and stuff, like he means it. Like he's very awesome. That dude's
Is it
incredible.
is
Everyone,
it is it the rehab? Because we don't know the hugs pre-rehab. If
it may have been. I've
no, but
never
they've
received
always said that about him though, that he gives good hugs.
that he gives good hugs. He's a good
Yeah,
hugger. It could have been for different reasons now than it was then. Could have been a little bit more of a drunk hug. I don't care. I'll take one. I'll take one pre-rehab or post-rehab from Jake any day. He's a good dude, man. All of them were. I was blown away, and the amount of people that were there.
yeah,
Uh, you know, now we did have a boots on the ground correspondent. Speaking of the, and we'll go back to the summer event, but we heard from our good buddy Michael Chipper Haynes, actual middle name,
Chip
uh,
Chip.
Chip Chip, yeah, part of the crew. Shout out Chip Chip. He went to the summer bash event last Thursday, and he said it was very cool. He didn't go to the generic summer event for the Dumb Zone, but
Hmm.
when I asked him about it the next day, he said that it was at the Granada, so it was comfortable, so people could still move around. So pound for pound, I think
Yeah.
the summer event brought in more people, but that was a free event. This one I think was $50 for general admission, but it was equally as cool from what I understand. So they did
Yeah.
ask me anything. They did the time wasters, and Chipper said literally where they were seated, Gordon kept coming over to a family, and Chipper caught like he called it immediately. He's like, "Oh, that's his wife and his two kids,"
Yeah.
and took some pictures. We'll have to share those. But the coolest part he said about the AMA, they asked me anything was one of the first questions was a P1 for Gordo, and they asked him point blank. They were like, "Hey Gordo, why do why do you always kind of keep your family separate and we know you have a family. Like, why don't you ever talk about them on air?" And he said it came from when he was, and he said this before. You and I've heard him say this, that he keeps his life, his private life, separate because when he was a boy, his dad was a pastor in Mississippi, and he always felt really weird because as the pastor's son, the rest of the congregation would just treat him in a certain way, not bad, but
Yeah, but
he kind of
just because of who he is, good or bad, there's some kind of status kind of thing, or attachment to his dad that, yeah, yeah.
that he as a kid he said he kind of struggled with. So, but what was funny is I think the next question or shortly after that, there's a teenage girl that got up and she asked something. Chipper couldn't make out what she said, but something about what Gordon's favorite something was maybe or something like that. And Gordon said, "Well, who's this? What's your name?" And she said like Caroline. She's like, "Caroline what?" Like Caroline Keith. So it was kind of a nod to his daughter, and then everyone clapped and stuff like that. So it was a really
Yeah.
sweet moment. But I heard it was equally as cool, man. They rocked in their own way, which is
Yeah, I think
pretty
I
cool.
told you I saw Gordon once at a Morrissey concert.
Yes,
When Morrissey came to Dallas, me and Jordan went, and I saw him with like two kids, and I'm like, I wonder again, because that's always been shrouded in mystery. You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of people that know, they just don't talk about it, or they don't actually say anything, or
yeah,
whatever. But I think a lot of people know his family, and he has a family and a wife and all that. I think his wife is like a photographer or an
yes,
artist or something, right?
photography.
She's
Yeah,
something, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and like I said, I remember seeing like I wonder that's got to be his kids. I don't think he's running around with some random youngins, and they kind of looked like him too. They kind of
yeah.
had that, you know. So that's cool that they were there. I don't know if anybody's has ever like,
Put eyes on complete.
yeah, or said, hey, his family was there, or whatever. I like I said, we all know that's there
Yeah,
somehow. Just like him with his bits and his house and his apartment.
yeah. That he hasn't.
Yeah,
That he's a maintenance man in his apartment. He's an
yeah,
idiot.
all that kind of thing. Like we
Yeah,
always know, those bits. But I was gonna say something too about the attendance. Like I checked, on the like Reddit, on the subreddit, Dumb Zone subreddit, and the Facebook page, Fan Zone, and all that. And I think there was a lot more people there than they showed, because a lot of people were like saying it was hot as shit, so they were only there for like at the beginning for an hour, or they stopped in for 45 minutes and then left. But the people that were there for the most part, like it was a huge, I mean, it was, I'd say like 400, 500 people.
at least
Yeah, and like I said, I don't know about at the in and out people that just stopped in for a while and then left, because that's the people you could see. And the bar was packed, the little
bar
patio
was
was
packed.
packed, the other bar behind, next to, I guess, down the line from the other bar was packed. People, I guess, but it was hot. It was a very hot and humid day, so I understand some people didn't do the whole 3 4 hours or whatever it was. But we got there before it started, and we stayed there till it was what, like 10:30 maybe,
Yeah,
something like
we shut
that.
it down. We shut it down and
Yeah.
then some. And it was shout out Adrian for saving me the Uber.
Now I'm gonna let my bug driving an Uber, riding an Uber.
Well, thank you. No one's abducting my butt.
I told
No
you,
one's
if it was Sunday night, I'd be like, fuck it, you're gonna have to write that home. But it's Saturday. It was Saturday. It's all right.
I think half the time I didn't know where I was. I think I told you that. I was like, "Are we on 35?"
And yeah, you were all. I could see you in the back. You and I was gonna ask you too. You look like a dog that's about to be taken to the vet or something. It's like, hey, I don't. Where we going? You
Hey,
say we're going to the park. This ain't the right. This ain't the way to the park.
you said you're gonna
Yeah,
buy
but
me a
no,
sweet treat.
on my navigation, I have toll, like to avoid
Yeah,
tollways. So all the tolls are right there. So it kind of have to take me down the like
right.
frontage road and then under the bridge to come around and catch like 35 and 635. No, that shit. But I could see you in the rear view mirror while we were chatting. And you were just kind of like, "What the fuck? Where the fuck is he taking me?"
I was like, I know these streets. I just don't know them in the context of how I'm getting home.
I know these streets, but I don't know how they. I don't know how they get me home. I've heard of these streets before, but I don't know how these get me home.
Well, funny enough, 35 has that part of town where we were at is close to one of our friendship origin stories once we started going out. And that's the Waffle House story, which we
The
can
Waffle
package
House.
for another day, for another
Yeah.
day, where me and you consummated our friendship love by uh, by returning.
That's the day we became real friends.
We'll have to package that story, but it's a doozy. Yeah, we consummated our love in the parking lot of a Waffle House after a 2 a.m. breakfast platter that quickly
Cross
made its
we crossed streams.
in the most heartfelt of ways and warm by a street light outside of the Waffle House off 35 and wherever down by Dallas. We'll have to tell that long form later.
and
No,
speak
but it was,
and speaking of that, like you'll be reminded of that soon. You just keep that in mind
oh
here in the
no.
near future.
Oh no. All right. That sounds good.
It'll be commemorated here in the near future.
I'm looking forward to it. Thing you got going on. Oh man, no, but it was sweet, man. This is a good way to bookend the event. You know what I'm most excited for? I think is that, uh, well, let me back up. So the events both were super cool and super happy for both groups. Kind of interesting to see about the news that actually in 2 days, right, the Musers are dropping their
Mhm.
podcast exactly how the Dumb Zone wanted to do. Now,
Yeah,
in a way, it's kind of like these boys led the way. Would this be happening now? Would there be a change? I don't know.
yeah.
Is it
No, I
chicken?
think
Is it egg?
no. There's no way. I think they led the way, and it being the Musers, they know they can ask and do whatever the fuck they want, and there's not gonna
That's
be any
different.
kind of.
Yeah,
But yes, this wouldn't have happened. I don't think. I honestly don't think. And this is not just me trying to rah the guys, but there's no way. Like I said, this would have happened. They would have. I think even if they would have asked before, they would have gotten the same response.
hmm,
But I think after seeing what happens and what can be done and the non-compete bit and all that, like I think that's where all these they can tell the story, whatever story they want, but I will always believe that they went in there and negotiated these new hours. They probably negotiated this podcast at the same time that they did it. They
yeah,
just hadn't announced it or anything. But it's
that's right.
all under the thing of like, look, we can do this way or we can do it the other way.
The way
And
Dan and
we would be
Jake did it.
successful. Yes, we would be successful doing it the other way too. So, you
That's
know,
right.
it's up to you. Because,
Yeah,
like, who was it that was talking about it? Like, Dan and Jake have talked about it before of like, you think like when you think of the radio station, like you think that there's like millions of people listening to this thing, and it's not. It's a good number of rabid fans, you know what I mean, that listen to this station. I think that's what it is. It's not really a huge numbers thing. You know, it's a more that like I think it helps the ratings too that like people are on it all day and it isn't always necessarily the numbers. You know what I mean? And because, like I said, Dan and Jake have kind of alluded to the thing of like, there's not that many people listening to the station as a lot of people think. You know, because the way they do the ratings, they take a small little sample of stuff and then they kind of like multiply it. You
yeah,
know,
they aggregated
and
it. Yeah,
in the pod in the pod world, like you know exactly how many people are
Oh,
listening. You know what I mean? Like how
yeah.
many plays you get, when,
Where they
how many subscribers you have. Like dead set like what your ratings are, what your audience is. You know what I mean? It's not like in radio. So I think all that played a part in like, look, we can go and we can get 10,000 subscribers easily, 10, 15,000 subscribers easily at $5, $6, $7, whatever it is, and like they're going to get theirs one way or the other. So there's no way. I'm never gonna believe that that didn't have anything to do with it.
I agree 100%. And I think it's just the natural progression.
Yeah.
We've talked about this, right? And the tickets also alluded to it. Like we don't know what's next, right? Obviously, there's an aging out process. There's young talent coming up, but this shift that happened was massive when Dan and Jake made their exit. The way they did it, the way they grew from, you know, you go back and listen to the OG podcast, the first couple months when they're still dealing with the fallout and navigating through litigation and the courts and stuff. And yeah, dude, they just made something special, and I think that's to be commended. I think radio will never be the same as far as Dallas sports and its landscape here. And you've got these big wigs like Jared Sandler. There's a mosquito in here. Summer. You got people like Jared Sandler. You got people like Ted Emmerich.
Yeah.
These big hitters as far as the Dallas sports landscape scene. And then you've got people across the U.S. that they support their podcasts, or people from the Atlantic, all their connections, right? Tim McMahon. I mean, I think people just this is something fresh and new, and I think it's what's next, and that's
Yeah,
exciting. It was cool.
and I think whether they go, I mean, I think they're already successful. Like
Yes.
they are successful at what they try to do. Again, will they ever last? Or it doesn't matter. I don't think. I think they're always going to be remembered because, like I said, there's a lot of people that have podcasts and things like that, like Norm after they retire, things like that on the side. But to leave like a station, like a major sports station with the awards, with the ratings, with everything that they had, hosts, from what I hear, again, that's another one of those shrouded type things, but they seem, or at least from what you can gather, they make good money.
Yeah.
They make good money, and to leave
Yeah.
that to go do your own thing, like I said, that's always going to be a thing that's going to be remembered. Whether, again, I think they're successful, but as if people consider success if they go on to be millionaires doing this or not, you know what I mean? I think they're always going to be remembered for doing that. You know what I mean? And like I said, this new Musers podcast is a direct effect and a direct result of
Yeah.
like them having done this. It's just
Mhm.
like one of these I don't know which podcast this week they had the title of like the Mavericks walked so the Lakers could run type thing. It's the same
Yeah.
thing. Like they walked so that, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
in
That's
their
right.
own words, like they're the Rosa Parks of the local podcast world.
Civil disobedience.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Or when they had Ted Emmerich on earlier, I'm behind. I'm like 3 episodes behind. But
Yeah.
the last time Ted Emmerich came on, they were talking about Eddie Goodell, the dwarf, 1950s baseball
Yeah.
guy, and oh gosh, I forget the name of the owner, but basically saying that Eddie Goodell, the baseball dwarf, and the bits that the MLB threw him in to be a part of, he he walked so that Vern Troyer could waddle, is what Ted Emmerich said. He's a trip, dude. Ted Emmerich, I didn't know he had it in him, but no, man, it was fantastic. Like I said, I don't know which moment was my favorite, but it was cool. So it was me, you, and Marlene, your wife, and it was just a fun night to get to hang out. And shout out to my wife Andy for taking me up there like a kid at summer camp.
dropping you
'Cause
off, dropping you off at the
she was,
pool.
yeah, yeah, she wasn't about the heat because it was hot, and
It was a really hot and humid day. That it was.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was. But no, it was fun, man. It was fun engaging with everybody. Everybody's super cool, and yeah, I mean, I think it's something we'll look back on. And thank you for having it commemorated in frame. I thought I'd
Oh
lost that
yes.
poster.
Like I said, we were too busy like messing around and trying to get the interviews and just enjoying the thing that like we didn't even remember. We didn't even think about getting it signed. We talked to everybody and everything.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? But we'll get it signed eventually.
Yeah, we'll get
Hopefully we'll end up seeing these guys at another event, or, you know, I don't know.
another
You never
event.
know.
You never know, and also, like I said, man, with even if 10% comes true with our Dumber Zone podcast here, and getting to take these boys up on their offer at a moment of our choosing,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe be a part of a business win.
We need to gather up enough wad to blow first, and then
Yeah, yeah,
we
exactly.
we need a little we need to gather up a little more wad right now,
Oh yeah,
and then you know
and then
and
present
then
to
do
them.
something. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. But yeah, we'll keep following them like always. Yeah, everything they do, I like. Also, I like how effortless they make it look, but they put a lot of hard work in. You
Yeah.
know, their songs, I mean, dude, the talent that they brought out, man. Prophets and Outlaws, like, and Grady's Bruce and the work, like, they're no slouches. They're
No.
big time, and they did it as favors or as because they are also fans. You know, like
Yeah.
they've had them on. Obviously, Jimmy
That's a
Nelson.
cool thing about all these people that they have. Like they're all like fan, you know what I mean? It's not anybody that's just there. Yeah, everybody has businesses and everybody has, you know what I mean? But like they're all there and they all know who they are and they've known who they
Yeah,
are for a while, you know what I mean? They're not just there
right.
because, well, we paid them to be here, even if they did,
Yeah,
sponsors and all
whatever.
that stuff. Of course, people get paid for their time, but that's not why they're there, you know what I mean? Like they're people that they already know, that know the guys, you know what I mean? That from the very beginning when this whole thing started, from what we've heard and them talk about, started offering their time and their services and their sponsorships, their support, like all that kind of stuff. And that's
Right.
what's cool about it. It's like
Yeah.
it might not be a ton of people, but it's just like they say, like if you can get just a rabid group of, like, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10,000 people that are just, you know what I mean, that's all you need. You know what I mean? That's better than just like some spare 100,000 people that just kind of know who you are, but just or are around for their own reasons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you could
Oh
tell
yeah.
everybody there, like, you could just hear it in the conversations, all the bits, like, talking like
Oh
we
yeah.
talk. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? We've
That's
never
right.
been around that many people that, like, yeah, I can say you hear all the bits and people just, talking in drops and just saying words that wouldn't make sense to somebody else that was just walking through there. Some stranger could have walked through there and they wouldn't know what the hell was going on. I mean, there's live
That's
music
right.
going on here, and there's stuff going on here, but these people are talking weird. They're talking about weird things. Like they wouldn't have got all of it.
No, not at all, man. Not at all. And it was a blast just to be able to do the first one and first of many, I hope. And I was gonna tell you, I know they did the Constellation Club last Friday,
Yeah.
but I didn't have enough gas in me to even ask you to go.
Mm. I didn't even know where that was or what or.
Yeah, it's over in
But
Las Colinas,
we need to do
Uh,
some of these. Yeah, we need to try to find some of these, and if we have time, like go check them out. It's just sometimes like they're during the day, and like we both work and stuff, so they're like during work hours and that kind of bit.
yeah, it doesn't make sense. But yeah, we need to come up with a little game plan. And I need to catch up so I can actually find out about it before it passes. That's
Like I
another
said,
thing.
I think on Friday's episode. Oh,
Okay,
and
well,
that
I'm one
reminds me
behind.
too, because I was listening today while I was driving around, and going back to the interviews and stuff, we kind of let them know who we were, and our bit was like hey, we know you're not gonna sue us because of the name. So the name, the Dumber Zone, is because, I mean, duh, Dumb and Dumber. Like they're the dumb is like it's just the dumber, right? It just goes with it or whatever. But Jake was talking about when him and I think it was him and TC started doing the podcast,
Hmm.
and they were basically doing the same thing. They were talking about Bob and Dan and doing the what was it? I don't know if it was the guest booking league or something that they later then brought on to the thing. And
Right.
Jake said something interesting that I had never heard him say, and is basically doing what we're doing. He's like, we knew. Jake was saying is like we knew that if we did this podcast, and if we talked about the hosts, they'd eventually would have to talk about us. You know what I'm saying? It would get their attention because we're talking about them. And Dan said the same thing. He's like, yeah, it was cool that we heard this podcast and there's these guys and they're talking about us, like we're
Yeah.
this big thing or whatever. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like the same approach we're taking. Is like, it's just we're still very new at this, and it just happened that we got lucky and we're able to I guess this is what, maybe our fifth or sixth podcast barely, and this is the big one where we got to meet them all. Like I said, like 5 episodes in, we get to meet the whole cast and interview them and talk to them and get invited onto their show and all this shit. Like it's happening a little fast. That's why I say we don't even have a wad built up to like blow on all of this. But
Yeah.
like I said, it was very fun. It was the what do you call it, the just the reaction that we got from the guys was very nice, and it was seemed very genuine to me.
Yeah.
Like it
I
was
think
very,
I
they
think
weren't
so.
just, like I said, because they could have gave us a little pat on the head and be like, oh, that's nice. I mean, good for y'all or whatever. And they didn't have to invite us on. They didn't have to say, hey, I want to listen. Hey, send me the link so I can listen. Like they didn't have to do. They could have been like, oh, that's that sounds cool, like whatever, and just moved on about their way. Which is kind of like I didn't expect it, but I didn't expect that, but you kind of do like that kind of thing, and it
Yeah.
wasn't like that. It was just like I
Not at
said, it
all.
was cool. It was cool to hear. And like I said, I don't know where I'm putting the interviews, in the middle or right here at the end. I haven't decided yet, but listen to them, and then we'll upload them all on a separate video too on the YouTube, including the Sarah Hepola. She was with us for what, about 5-6 minutes?
She was awesome. Yeah, she
Yeah.
was. Yeah, she was, and actually she was headed out, and we made a beeline for her because that was somebody that we really wanted to talk to. I think
Yeah.
she's been a
We were
cool.
about to interview Bluey, and we had
We're
to. We,
like, hang on, intern Henry slash Bluey, hang on, bro. We know
we
where
had
you're
to.
gonna be.
What's the word when, like, on the talk shows, when you get bumped? We had to bump
We had a bump.
Bluey
We had a bump
because,
Bluey.
yeah, because Sarah Hepola was
Of
right
course,
there.
she's a gem, dude. She's a treasure, and she gave us the time, and she it was cool, man. We got to chat with her. That may be one of my favorites, just because she got to talk a little bit about her upcoming project, the next book. So
Yeah.
she shared some details about that. That was really cool. Each interview was really funny and special, and I love, like, Adrian and I basically, we jumped in. You guys will see whenever he drops them at whatever order he does. But one of the constant bits that I thought was the highlight of each interview was seeing their reaction when, um, like, I would share, and it would set up Adrian. I would share about what our podcast was called, and Adrian, in perfect time, kind of jumps in and he's like, "And we can't get sued." And unlike you guys, we
we
can't
just
get sued.
we're just trying to get it on tape, trying to get them to, hey, you know about this, and you said no, you wouldn't sue us.
We're one of you, and we can't get sued because you blazed that trail for us.
Yes, we're just following in the footsteps. Like you can't.
Yeah, you can't call us for it. No, it was great, man. It was great. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was awesome. Can't wait to do it again. Obviously, now that we have some cool stories and able to kind of drop a few of these episodes and stuff, I think what's next, I'd like to have some of the people that we talked about on the show already. Some of the folks from our crew, right? Eddie Mang, Chipper, Nestor, GL, some of these people that are super cool and important in our lives, good friends, but also they're just like us and they're just like Dan and Jake, and we say the same jokes over and over again and
they
same
don't they
draws.
don't listen as much as we do, but
Right.
our stuff, even though they might not always get it, it sticks and they understand it, and then they throw it back at us, even if they don't know where it came from. But because we use it, you
That's
know what I
right.
mean? Because they don't listen as much as we do, but it becomes part of the vernacular of the
Part of the friend,
gang.
part of the friend core.
Yeah.
No, I like it, man. I like it. Well, I can't
And like I
wait. I
said,
can't.
maybe we'll see if one day we can have, one-on-ones with these guys, with the Dumb Zone crew. Just invite them on here, put them on a third screen, and just not beat them down too much. Give them a few five,
Yeah,
10 minute little interview, and
that'd be great. There's not much I wouldn't be down for as long as they say yes. As long as they say yes, there's not much I wouldn't be down for. So
no, I didn't.
we'll
Like I
try.
said, I don't think. Like I said, they offered, and
They
like I said, as
offered.
long as we don't beat them down
That's
and
right.
try to do, a 2 hour expose on anything. You know what I mean? Hey, can
On
you
dance.
jump on a quick 5-10 minutes and be done
That's
with it?
it.
I think
Yeah.
would go a long way. And knowing us and knowing you, like, we're not gonna ask no regular questions. We don't want to know
No.
regular shit. We don't know. We don't care what your favorite color is. What
No. We
what kind of
definitely got to
pizza?
come.
What kind of toppings you like on your pizza?
Yeah, what's your favorite, beach or mountains?
Boxers or
No, it's
briefs?
yeah, it's going straight to JFK. It's going straight to the bag dilemma, the bag and the giraffe dilemma,
And the giraffe
or
hypotheticals.
the giraffe hypotheticals. We're going in ham, dude. Hard hitting questions
Hey, but
only,
hard hitting though.
but hard hitting. Okay, that's what we're all about here, investigative journalists. Yeah, we're not going to go into a long form article about Dan's walks at Home Depot.
No, we're gonna get right to it.
Man, well, this was awesome, dude. Thank you. Thank you.
Glad we
Monday,
finally got to be able
I
to get on
know.
the same schedule. Like I said, we're 45 years old. We got a lot of shit going on. Like I
Got
said,
a
I know
lot of stuff.
you just started a new job. We're finishing up a job. You know, where
Big
we're
job. Yeah.
putting in 10-hour days to try to get this stuff done in the heat. And we get home,
Yeah.
5:30 we get off. Get home by 6:30 after traffic, and it's just.
Yeah. And that's a
I'm
big job.
almost on
Big job going
your
on.
schedule on those days of early night.
Yeah.
Like you can't
Early
help
night
it.
now.
It's just I mean you're just tired. Your body's just like, hey, it's time to go to bed. It's time to go to sleep.
Body- The body wants what it wants, man, and then get up and
Yes.
do it again. See, folks, we're just like you. We're just
Yeah.
regular folks like you. Okay. Put our pants
Exactly.
on. Put our pants on one leg at a time and pay $10 for effing eggs.
Yep. Just like everybody. We ain't got no egg hookup or nothing.
We ain't got no egg
More
plug.
on yards.
We mow our own yards. We get pissed off. And
We
get
still run out of
distracted.
string and gas.
We're just normal guys. We're terrified of effing World War III. We're one of you. We're one of
Yeah.
you.
Just the same.
Just the same. Well, man, you get a good sleep. Thank you. This was a fun ride. This is a fun 3 episode ride and much success. Mission accomplished. Hang the banner,
But
right?
yeah, for sure.
Way ahead of time. Let's hang the banner.
Even if this is the end for this one, like what a way to end it.
What a way to end it. What a way to...
If we blow
It'll
up
never
tomorrow, like we accomplished what we wanted to on this podcast for now.
Yeah, I kind of feel like this is our Diary of Anne Frank. Like in 100 years, somebody's going to pick this up and be like, man, what inspiring boys in the midst of World War III, right before they got nuked. Look at this. Look at this podcast. I don't know what the generic summer event or what that means.
What
but,
they were talking
man,
about, but I mean, they went out with a bang.
I went with a bang. It's such a hopeful pair of boys, hopeful for the future, right? Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. I would never compare myself to Anne Frank.
No.
On that note, and that's completely sober, folks. And on
Really?
that note,
Yeah, no drink.
well, brother, love you, Bug. It was a great ride. So let's do it again next week, back on regular schedule, and let's see what other fun we can get into.
For sure.
Come on.
Hate it.